Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week we're in Thailand to spend the afternoon with the youngest women's singles world champion, Ratchanok Intanon. And we're in Malaysia to take a look at a program using badminton to help the underprivileged. We start the show in Bangkok, the energetic heart of Thailand. We had the privilege to spend an afternoon with a teen sensation, a youngster who is shaking up the established order, an outstanding talent that's shining a light not only on herself, but onto her country. Ratchanok Intanon is the current women's singles world champion, is third in the world rankings, and is just about to turn 19.
I'm glad I was able to make people aware of my country. This was a big moment in Thai badminton history, because it's usually China and Indonesia players who win women's singles matches. This was the first time for Thailand.
It's gone wide! The 18-year-old from Thailand, the youngest ever world champion, the first ever world champion from Thailand.
This is the moment May, as she's known to friends and family, shifted the power balance in women's singles badminton. She had just defeated the reigning Olympic champion Li Xiaorui in China to claim the 2013 BWF World Championships. She, in turn, also became the youngest women's singles player to do so.
Well, when the shuttlecock went out, I thought that it's a dream and couldn't believe that I'd won. That day, my mind and body were in perfect balance. It's strange, because your mind usually tells you that you're tired, and you can't go on, but not on that day. It was just my day. Everything felt right.
The win not only made other nations sit up and take notice, but it also changed her life and the sport in Thailand. In a country dominated by football, badminton suddenly became sexy. Fans mob her, journalists write about her, and she even has her own reality TV show.
After I became world champion, there was a lot of pressure, because it seemed like everyone wanted to talk to me. I guess it's normal, but it took a while for me to get used to it. I had to remember who I was, and just try to be normal and not get so carried away.
Ratchanok's introduction to badminton was very ordinary. In fact, it was something parents do the world over to calm an over-energetic child. She used to run around the factory where her parents worked. In order to keep her out of harm's way, her auntie suggested that she take up badminton.
Initially, I didn't want to play any sports, so badminton is the one I chose, because I'd seen some people play it. And to tell you the truth, I didn't take it too seriously, until I began to win. In fact, I really began to play because I didn't want to disturb my parents.
This unremarkable start to her badminton career was to change within a year of picking up the racket. At the age of 7, she won her first tournament. Regional and national titles followed. Then, when she was just 14 years old, she claimed her first international senior title at the Vietnam International Challenge. A few months later, she won the 2009 BWF World Junior Championship, becoming the youngest singles winner. She would go on to win it 3 straight times. More tournaments on the senior circuit followed, but still very young, the arduous touring was hard to deal with.
First, I felt lonely, because I had been with my parents every day. I don't remember if I cried or not. But after going to a number of international events, I got used to being away, and it became easier. Besides, there were always senior players to look after me.
But the transition from the juniors to the seniors wasn't just emotional, but also physical. While she'd been able to overwhelm her youth opponents with her prodigious talent, when it came to the professional ranks, there needed to be a shift in her work ethic. Often she would do well in the first or second round, but could not sustain her challenge. Her conditioning had to be improved. Her academy hired a personal trainer to improve her fitness, but if she was to make improvements, she would need to rethink her preparations.
ช่วยให้เมย์มีการพัฒนาที่
I have learned to manage my time a lot better. Like eating at regular times, for example. I take time to relax and recover, and generally have a more professional approach to things.
The caliber of her results improved and she was able to compete with better players on the tour. 2013 was her best year to date, claiming her first Super Series gold as well as the World Championship. But as you would perhaps expect, her hunger for further success has not diminished.
ปีหน้าคือจะพยายามรักษาใน
My goal for the year is to maintain my ranking and be in the last 8 of every tournament. I want to maintain my World Championship title, and at the Asian Games, I'd like to win a medal for Thailand.
คว้าเหรียญกลับมาให้คนไทยอะ
Undoubtedly the torchbearer for Thailand's rapid progress in the world of badminton, Ratchanok's life is a heady concoction of practice, play and celebrity, and she's still only 18. But she accepts the pressure with an ease that belies her age. Strong, exciting and controlled. Ratchanok has a steely determination to change the status quo. Watch out for her, she may well become one of the greats. Let's test your knowledge. Tell us who this person is. I was born in Denmark. I'm a left-handed player. I recently won the doubles category at the 2013 BWF World Superseries finals. Find out who this mystery person is after the break.
Maldives, because you can sleep a lot there. There's no shopping in Maldives. My premier Padmini way back in the 1970s. My wife's. I won't tell the number though. In the initial phases, it was definitely Lim Swee King, and towards the later half of my career, I think it was Morten Frost. I think one would be Roger Federer, because I'm a great fan of his. And maybe Tiger Woods, because my Anisha, second daughter, she's a very big fan of golf. A moment which I'll remember, the 1981 World Cup finals in Kuala Lumpur, when I beat Hanjian 15-0 in the finals of the Alba World Cup. Towards the end of the match, people were so angry, the local, the Malaysians and the Chinese. They started throwing orange peels at me on the go. That's never happened before. So I think that's one moment which I'll definitely not what I'll cherish, but definitely what I'll remember forever.
When we get back, we take a look at an initiative aiming to use badminton to help the disadvantaged. Before the break, we asked you to identify who this person is. The answer is Camilla Rytter-Juhl. Camilla Rytter-Juhl is a Danish shuttler specializing in the doubles category. She won the recent Women's Doubles Super Series finals in Malaysia. She and partner Christina Pedersen beat Ma Jin and Tang Jinhua. Rytter-Juhl and Pedersen are also the BWF World Championship bronze medalists. The first Grand Prix Gold event of the year was held in India last week. The Babu Banarasi Das Stadium in Lucknow was the venue. Even without their major players, China's domination continued in the finals, but not without the host nation having a say. The finals opened with the mixed doubles as China's Wang Yilu and Huang Yaqiong took on the BWF World Junior Champions Huang Kaixiang and Chen Qingchen. It was the US Open finalists Wang and Huang who clinched their first ever international title in the space of 42 minutes. They won in straight games 21-18, 21-14. Fans cheered loudest as the women's singles saw an all-Indian affair between the nation's top two of Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu. It was a long time coming for former world number 2 Nehwal. Her last finals appearance was back in October 2012 at the French Open. Feeding off the crowd's energy, the Olympic bronze medalist did enough to put the younger Sindhu away in 2 games, winning 21-14, 21-17. Chinese duo Cheng Qingchen and Jia Yifan squared off against compatriots Yu Xiaohan and Huang Yachong next in the women's doubles. A tight contest saw both pairs challenging each point, with the spoils being shared after 2 games. The decider, however, belonged to Chen and Jia as they wrapped up the match 22-24, 21-19, 21-11. The men's doubles was a repeat of the Asian Junior and World Junior finals, as Huang Kaixiang, this time partnering Zheng Siwei, faced Li Junhui and Liu Yuchen. Li and Liu had to work hard for their 3rd win against Huang and Zheng. They eventually claimed their first senior title, taking it 21-17, 19-21, 22-20. Rounding off the final day was national champion K. Srikanth as he took on China's Song Xue in the men's singles. Srikanth, who had also won the Thai Open, took the first game with relative ease. But he had no answer when the Chinese World Junior finalist raised the tempo in the second and carried the momentum onto the final game. The match was over in 38 minutes. The score, 16-21, 21-19, 21-13 to Song Xue. Not the finish that local fans had hoped for, but still, it concluded yet another successful tournament. Be it as a career, a weekend devotion, training to be the next big star, or just having fun, badminton offers something for all. While Selangor is the epicenter of the sport in Malaysia, the region where the nation's best stay and train as they aim for international glory, there is another hotbed of badminton. Less than an hour away from the capital, Kuala Lumpur, lies the town of Puchong. While it's not in the same class as the elite players, the sport is played in the same spirit here. We met up with a father and son team spearheading the Michael's Badminton Academy, or MBA. Michael Lee, a badminton player himself, founded the original academy at Petaling Jaya before setting up the bigger version in Puchong.
It's very important to run a badminton hall. We must have passion. Through sports, we can unite people. And the happiness, when they miss the ball, the interaction with all of them, is because there's no business involved. It's all about really the fun of playing badminton. Exercise, sweat, healthy lifestyle. So after 4 years, so I thought of expanding here.
So this center is our second center in Bandar Puteri with 32 courts. So what we do on a day-to-day basis, we have our court renting business, where we open up to the public for them to come and play. And more importantly, we focus on our academy, where we groom young shuttlers to learn how to play badminton.
When the Badminton Unlimited team arrived on a Friday afternoon, a training session was in full swing. Young shuttlers were being put through their paces. Coaches from traditional badminton powerhouses like Indonesia are brought in to lend their expertise. The academy has been in this business for close to 13 years. But what sets it apart from many badminton centres in Malaysia is an initiative called Hope for Change.
Hope for Change is a badminton training program. It's designed specifically for underprivileged children. So the objective of Hope for Change is actually to give these children an opportunity to learn and also to excel in the sport.
The program was launched in March 2011, starting with 3 charity homes and close to 50 children from the town of Puchong. Now in its 4th year, encompassing 5 homes, the success of Hope for Change lies in the use of badminton as the tool to improve the lifestyle of its participants, with some incentives thrown in as well.
How we structure with the homes is that we try to understand their schedule, because some of the kids, they have their own activities. After school, they have tuition. We ask that they give 3 times a week training. Like the children attend 3 times a week at least. That is for us to be consistent. So after we arrange the timing with them, and we'll bring them here for training. And if there are badminton events that are happening in the Klang Valley, we'll bring the children to go and watch. In 2012, we actually managed to get the children to meet with Datuk Lee Chong Wei himself. So the kids were very, very excited. Yeah. So we will try to do more of this kind of activities.
But to keep such programs going, outside aid is needed. MBA found a partner in ECM Libra Foundation, a charitable organisation whose objective is to provide financial assistance in education to needy Malaysians.
I see sports as a way of teaching children leadership skills, teaching them that there's a disciplined way to anything in life. So by following certain structured programs, we felt that they could be very beneficial for some of those kids.
The positive results of Hope for Change have not only been witnessed by the organiser and sponsor, but also by those closest to the children.
Before this program, the children had been longing to play sports. That was why we were looking for a suitable spot for them. So when the office called us up about this program, the kids were very happy. They were very excited on training days. They will wake up and get ready with their rackets.
Badminton is still very much the core of the program. Through its training workshops, MBA is always on the lookout to unearth the next gem.
And my mission is to produce one champion from orphans, so that you can tell all the people that, through hard work and all these things, they can become champions.
I really like Lee Chong Wei, and when I grow up, I hope I can play better than him.
It is never too young to dream big. Whether Buntat or any of these shuttlers can emulate the heroes of today remains to be seen. But what is considered a success is seeing the happy faces and hearing the laughter. It's the hope that these children will go into their adult life carrying with them the lessons and experiences gained from Hope for Change. Let's take a look at the rankings. This week we look at the women's singles. There are no changes in the top 5 places as Olympic champion and Super Series winner Lee Xue-Ray heads the table. Bae Yeon-ju of Korea has moved up a place to 6 at the expense of Chinese Taipei's Tai Su-ying. Saina Nehwal has dropped a spot, although that might change after her exploits at the India Grand Prix Gold. Whilst Germany's Julian Schenk moves up 1. Rounding up the top 10 is Thailand's Porntip Borana Parasetsuk. Don't forget the BWF rankings are updated every Thursday, so log on to www.bwfbadminton.org for the latest information. Our player of the week is Saina Nehwal. The India shuttler overcame her compatriot PV Sindhu to take the India Grand Prix Gold. The title ends a barren run of international titles that dates back to 2012. It also puts her at the top of the winner's step in India for the first time since 2010. The star of India badminton will be hoping this will kickstart her season. When we get back, we focus on Kento Momota, Japan's rising star. We are in Japan and its capital, Tokyo. Known as a country of modernity and progress, we've come here to meet a player who symbolizes all these attributes, Kento Momota. 2013 was a breakout year for the 19-year-old, as he made his mark on the senior circuit. While he may not have won a major tournament in the BWF calendar, his achievements have been rapid, even for himself.
I felt that everything went so well, perhaps maybe even too good. I was able to progress to the later stages in the Super Series and also won the Japanese Corporate Workers Badminton Tournament. When I think of my current skills and level, I feel the results have been overwhelmingly good.
After winning the Swedish and Austrian international challenges, he has been more than competitive in the Grand Prix Gold and Super Series events. Throughout last year, he regularly navigated his way through the major tournaments, only just falling at the knockout stages. Semi-appearances in the US and China Open remain his biggest achievements. A mean feat, his losses were mainly against the world's top 10 players. He's been so troublesome for veteran players that both world #1 Lee Chong-wei and Danish shuttler Jan O. Jorgensen have highlighted him as the player to watch this season.
I am not the type of player who has both speed and power. I tend to rather find weaknesses of my opponents and try to expose them.
After winning the bronze at the 2011 World Junior Championships in Taipei, he went on to clinch the men's singles title at the 2012 Badminton Asia Youth Under-19 Championships. Later that year, he returned to the World Juniors. This time, he won gold. Despite these achievements, Momota is not satisfied.
I have had many opportunities to play in the senior league prior to these titles. Winning the Asia Youth Championships was okay. I wasn't overjoyed.
He may be precise and controlled on the court, but off it, he seems less definite.
I go to extremes in my personality. When I want to be talkative, I'll not shut up. And when I don't feel like being social, I want to be left alone. I suspect I am a difficult person. I tend to stay home on my day off. I enjoy watching DVDs and sleeping in a lot.
Judging by his explosive performances, the shuttler will need lots of it, especially more so now with his current involvement in Japan's senior setup. The higher level of competition and intensity in training is what Momota has been craving.
Since joining the new team, my attitude towards badminton has changed. And I feel that I am improving a lot since then. Not only physically, but my attitude towards practice has changed. I get to practice with higher level players, and that helps my game a lot. On top of that, I'm able to choose different types of training that tailor to my needs. This greatly suits me as I progress.
He's hoping this new environment will push him to achieving much more in the coming months.
I haven't set a particular goal, but I think it's important to improve my overall level of play. I'd like to see myself in the quarterfinals and semi-finals in the Super Series more often than I did before.
Watch out for him in the coming years. Big things are expected from Japan's rising sun. Before we go, let's find out what's happening in the world of badminton in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we're in England to relax with the husband and wife team who are aiming for the very top. And we're in India to find out how badminton is developing in the country.